Well, welcome to Celebrating the Show Online, where we bring the Royal Melbourne Show to you, even though it's not happening the way that it normally happens. And joining me today is a lady who is very much involved with one of the most popular exhibits at the Royal Melbourne Show. They're just behind me here, of course, the Alpacas. Ian Preuss, tell me, where are you joining us from today in the virtual commentary box?
Oh, good morning. Yes, today we're in a little suburb called Coorimundle, a town which is only 15 minutes from the 12 Apostles and Great Ocean Road along the coastline in Victoria.
You've got a couple of alpacas. How many do you have?
Well, in total, well over 1,000. Yeah, alpacas, yes.
My goodness. Now, last year there was a fantastic moment for the alpaca community where the competition re-emerged in 2019. There were 250 competitors. Now, you've both competed at the Royal Melbourne Show before and you judged. Let's talk about judging. What are you looking for in an alpaca?
Well, as a Australian Alpaca Association judge, we're guided by a set of guidelines, which is the breed standard. So we judge for the breed standard. So the animals that come closest to the breed standards are the ones that come up in the rankings. So when they come in, we're looking for conformation, which is, proportions and straight legs, their eyes, their teeth are aligned and their tail's straight, etc., and how they walk. When you open their fleece, where there's the two breeds, so we look for different things in the two breeds, but we're looking for fineness, we're looking for style in the fleece, we're looking for good coverage and also density, so you want a lot of fleece on that animal, and we're looking for all those good traits to be very uniform across their body.
You're saying you want a lot of fleece and you want the fleece to be of a certain standard because alpaca fleece is synonymous with high fashion and it can fetch quite a premium. What is it used for?
Well, it's used from everything from carpets to socks to bedding, right up to high fashion, depending, of course, on the type of fleece and the micron, etc. There's so many uses for it, even for recently it's been used in face masks for insulative sort of purposes. So it has a vast array, people looking for its insulation properties, its softness and its lightness, but yet warmth.
You mentioned that you judge when you judge to the breed standards. What are the breeds?
There's two breeds in alpacas, the Wakaya, which is pictured behind you. They're the fluffy type of alpaca, and they're 90% of the worldwide, especially Australian herd, and their fleece grows out from the body, much like a merino, and it has that telltale crimp in it, like crinkle cut chips. That's what we're looking for, and they're used in woven and worsted products and knitted products. And then we have the Suri, which is only 10% of the herd, and that's what we specialise in. And it has the Suris have a part down the back line, and the fleece grows down in locks. And it has a very silky, soft handle, high luster, very similar to silk, natural product similar to silk, and it's used in high fashion where you require drape and luster.
The story of how alpacas arrived in Australia is quite an interesting one. There was something like 300 of them smuggled out of Chile, and I think they were eating grass on the Domain in Sydney. And these days, Australians are so in love with alpacas, and the producer community is so vast that in fact, the national herd here in Australia is the largest outside of South America. So it's so interesting to see how popular they are. And I think it's got not only a fair bit to do with the quality of their fleece, but their personalities. They certainly are characters. Tell us a bit about their personality.
Yeah, look, they're lovely animals to work with, the alpacas. They're very inquisitive. They always want to know what's going on, and they come up to you. And if you spend time with them and hand feed them and such, and get them in occasionally, they'll eat out of your hand. So, they're lovely animals. They're not necessarily pets, but they're livestock, but they're one of the most friendly and lovely livestock you can get.
Look, I can't imagine the amount of hours that go in for you and your husband Ian preparing your many alpacas to get ready for show, where there's crowds and sights and smells and, a lot of new surroundings around them. Are they always complicit competitors?
No, definitely not. Some of them take it in their stride and they just do what you want. You know, you put the halter on and they walk out and go in the ring, whilst other ones, you know, they'll either dig their heels in or sit down and say, no, not moving. So, yeah, I remember once my husband carrying one to the show ring. But look, on the whole, they handle the crowds and the noise amazingly.
Well, it's just so great that they're back in the show ring at the Royal Melbourne Show, and I can't wait to see them in person next time. Last question for you, Angela. I mean, you've been to many Royal Melbourne shows, you've judged, you've shown. Do you have a memory that really stands out for you?
Oh, well, I suppose you can't beat winning Supreme Champion at the Melbourne Royal. That's always a highlight moment when you're awarded that trophy. It works up to that during the days, and then so that's a real highlight. And with the Melbourne Royals, got held in such high esteem that it's a real pinnacle.
Well, we look forward to seeing you and your alpacas at next year's show, and thanks so much for joining me in the virtual commentary box here today as part of celebrating the show online.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.